Bizarre is intended for mature, open-minded audiences only. If you are easily offended, we suggest you turn this wacky shit straight off.
I've been sitting here listening to 90s music, and it's kind of creepy. A little bit.
Yeah, classic rock, they call it.
Well,
Fuck off.
I don't know if
It literally is, though. I mean, it's like it's close to it's farther away from us now almost than the stuff that we were listening to that back in the 90s that we considered classic rock was.
Yeah,
it's weird.
Fucking hate it.
And I'll tell you what, it was Alanis Morissette and I'm trying to think, Four Non Blondes. That's what I've been jamming right now.
And I said,
It's Cinnamon Concert.
That's still a great
really?
song.
You saw Four Non Blondes?
I really think that's still a great song.
Four Non Blondes.
You see them at Lollapalooza? Yeah, I remember that. I don't know if I was at that one or saw them, but I remember them being on that ticket. Yeah, I don't think they ever had a follow-up hit, did they?
Probably
not. I don't think so.
My point was the whole aggression, the women like kind of take over the power, that women have.
Girl power.
It was a section there that in the 90s it was pretty strong. But not only that, like Alanis Morissette is almost kind of like, and I hate to say it, but like kind of like hippie music. Like what we would think of us in our generation, where it's the Zeppelin.
I mean, that's sort of the vibe that I got.
That's
from
fair.
It too.
Yeah.
It wasn't
I mean, she
really
even has the word peace sign in one of her lyrics.
Sure. But
and the other one's giving a peace sign.
The other one's giving me a quick diddle.
So a fun fact you might not be aware of. I can't remember her last name, but I think it's Linda something from Four Non Blondes, the singer.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
She wrote like a shitload of songs for Pink.
Yeah, big hits.
What drummer was in Alanis Morissette's band that we probably all know, and she used to fuck?
That was the reason why I was watching the videos. I wanted to see what he looked like back when he was playing.
Lyle knows.
I know.
John Mark, do you know?
Not off the top of my head. I'm sure once you say it, I'll go, oh yeah, but
we'll definitely know. There's two major bands.
Yeah, it was the Foo Fighters' Taylor Hawkins. He was playing for Alanis Morissette when they kicked what's his name out of the band.
William Goldsmith.
The drum. Yeah.
And Foo Fighters.
And he called up. They had toured with Alanis Morissette, and so Dave Grohl had seen him drum, and he called him up and he's like, "Bro, you want to come drum for the Foo Fighters?" And Taylor was just like, "Fuck yes, get me out of this band with my girlfriend."
Yeah, once you start fucking in the old band, probably fun for a while, and then things get weird. Then you got to tour together and be on little buses at first, then maybe vans, and then you just gotta. You got to do all that together. Who wants to do that with an ex? That's a lot of bands do it, though.
Another fun fact story was that they played Alanis Morissette at the Gorge back in the 90s. Mm-hmm. And she was the type of person, apparently, let me describe it and set it in place for you, for our people that aren't local. The Gorge is basically in the middle of nowhere, right? And where we live, there's a lot of rock formations and a giant kind of like gully type thing. Where there's the river that runs underneath it and about 100 feet, 150 feet up, maybe 200 feet. It's probably more than that.
It's impossible to do this justice. Google a picture of the Gorge Amphitheater. It's a natural amphitheater in central Washington.
It's in George, Washington. But it's
Gorge and George.
Yeah, it's built on the very edge of this giant cavern, Gorge anyway.
Yeah, it's amazing.
So anyway, it's in the middle of fucking nowhere. There is a campground in some areas. When she specifically toured there, she stopped there, and there was campgrounds and people were camping. And there was about a dozen of our local Eastmont High School students that were there. And I guess she walked up to the camp and kind of just like, "Hey, what's going on? Do you mind if I sit here?" And none of them knew that it was Alanis Morissette. And they sat
shitting me.
I swear to God.
Isn't that ironic?
They sat there and bullshitted for like an hour. And she, okay, well, I'm going to leave. And she said, "By the way, I'm Alanis Morissette." And fucking they're freaked out. Oh my God.
What a douchey thing to do. By the way, I'm Alanis Morissette. You've just been hanging out with a famous bitch.
Well, this is the shit part. This is the shit part of the story is that wherever she traveled, she carried this little kind of a pack with her. It was like, who knows what it was. I don't know if it was a backpack or if it was a sling back or a sling with a pack or what. I don't know, whatever. Mm-hmm. But it had it was her shit. She always carried it around her wherever she went. It was some, she had personal items in it. And apparently somebody stole it up there at the Gorge. And she said there was a big reward for it. And I don't know if she ever got it back. But that was douchey thing about what happened up there at the gorge.
Interesting. Well, I wonder if she had it stolen before she was out trying to make friends around the campfire. She was trying to suss it out. It's like, so anyone see any backpacks or fanny packs? Or,
yeah.
Right. And it could have been fucking one of those fucks from Eastmont.
He's like, look, keep the pack, just return my jagged little pills.
And I think it was something on the lines of that, like if, you know, she wanted like specific items out of it. How she could only...
What do I got to do to get this back? Go down on you in the theater?
Yeah, so there's always this big question, like, who is she singing about in that song? And it seems like there are a few candidates, and maybe it's probably just like the song You're So Vain. It's probably borrowing from a few relationships. But do you know who the going person is that she dated?
Cut it out.
Dave Coulier, from Full House. Cut it out. Which uncle was he?
Right.
He was Uncle.
Are you serious?
That's the one who.
That's the song. It's about him.
Apparently, she went down on him in a theater. I think this came out with an interview of him. He definitely said, let's just say that a lot of those lines hit close to home.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And she dated, a lot of interesting people, but that was the one that probably inspired her entire career. Funny how that can happen. Go ahead, Lau.
I had no idea. That's funny.
Oh, yeah.
I was curious, but I just assumed it was just a song,
I fucking love any kind of band drama. I've always wanted to start like a website where you could just go and get the dirt on like the sex, drugs, rock and roll, what broke the band up.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd call it Yoko.com.
Yoko.com. All the shit that would break you up, yeah.
I think that's called Perez Hilton.
I think there is a dirt.com or dirt.org, or, well, it wouldn't be an org, but that does something like that. It's good shit. I mean, it is one of those things where it's like kind of fun to read about, fun to watch, a nightmare to go through, which I guess is like so many good stories. We rarely like watching fun, happy adventures where nothing bad ever happens.
I'm just curious about the generation right now, like the music sucks, in my opinion, because as musicians, you kind of get that feel too. You know what I mean? I'm kind of curious, like on the generations beyond now, might stumble upon those old 90 tunes and think about
they already are,
here's the thing that basically every decade or every sort of like generation, whether it's whatever you want to call it, right? There is the music that the younger people during that time are listening to, and that's their music, and it's like, this is good music. And then there is the establishment music and the record company music that's being manufactured for mass production. And there's always that split, right? So like right now, like you're like, and so am I, it's like, oh yeah, music sucks. But that's like, sure, that's popular music, and popular music always kind of sucks to a certain kind of person. So, you know what I mean? So there's music right now that is more like what you would consider to be, say this was the 90s, there's music right now that's basically would be considered to be, alternative without putting a label on it. That's really good, but it's just not what's in the mainstream. The mainstream music always sucks, and there's like an alternate movement to that's good.
Yeah, there occasionally, and this happens, I do think this happens once every generation, or a few times every generation, I should say, that occasionally something interesting will manage to squeeze its way into the top 40, like Nirvana did. And, that came out of nowhere. But it was an interesting thing because it wasn't like it is now, where rock in general rarely happens on top 40, unless it's a top 40 rock station. Because you got to remember what was, the top 10, they would do like the weekly top 10 countdown. That would have, in the late 80s, early 90s, before Nirvana hit, that was mostly shit like Tony. As far as like the R&B side, hip hop hadn't really broken into the mainstream like it is now. But then you also had like Guns N' Roses and Queensryche and Poison. And on the bolder stations, you would get Metallica, but even like Wenatchee barely played Enter Sandman back then. They do now on the classic rock stations, bringing us back full circle.
Speaking of Nirvana, I had something I wanted to play for you guys, and I don't think we ever touched on this, but right when the world went into lockdown, a certain musician got up and did a live stream where he and Travis Barker, ex Blink-182 drummer, and I don't recall who played bass. They all got together in one house in different rooms and jammed out to some Nirvana songs, and it's fucking impressive. In fact, I'm going to play a little bit of... You guys still with me?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Are we supposed to guess who it is?
I'm going to let you try to guess. You may have seen this.
Yeah,
you may
I
know.
see it.
Well, I mean,
You know who it is.
You get a DMC or something on this?
So this is all live. 3 people just jamming. It's who's singing. I want you to try to guess. Get the gist. Any ideas?
Well, I know who it is, so I'm not going to say.
You know.
Sounds like
It's,
Lyle's the only one that might not have seen the video.
Okay.
We can let him have a guess.
Yeah, do you know Lyle?
No, it's too distorted. I can't tell.
Oh, okay. It's Post Malone, and I'm not a big Post Malone guy, but I know a lot of people that are.
Yeah.
And I know that even Dave Grohl got wind of this, and he was tuning in to watch some of it at one point. I think it's impressive. It's like 25 minutes long or something. It's pretty long.
I think it's good, but here's my thought on things like this. I think we're so blown away with it when people are just playing their own instruments and just singing. No auto-tune, a little killer reverb. Sure, that's allowed. Some guitar effects, of course, but for the most part, it's just your raw rock and roll. And I think that anytime somebody who is known for, really, really processed and vocoder auto-tune stuff, to step in front of a mic and just kind of go at it, especially, that stuff isn't easy to sing. It's not easy to even try to sing like Kurt Cobain. So, I think it was kind of refreshing on that level alone. But I don't like Post Malone's music either, but he's an interesting dude. And every time I see him in interviews, he seems like somebody that I would get along pretty well with. And he's always talking about metal. Like, he's always talking about hard rock and metal. I hear him talking about that music more than of course, maybe that's just what, that would pop up in the feeds that I follow more. But it seems like an interesting kid and fucking crazy superstar. I love that meme of him on stage somewhere and someone's flashing their titties at him and his face is like, oh. By the way, someone did the homework to find the other end of that. So you can, if you want to see the mystery titties, you can see.
I got to now.
Yeah, you got to.
I want to hear more about the band that John Mark sent us. They were doing a cover of Black Old Sun from Soundgarden. That linked me to a TV show that I've never seen before, but always wanted to watch. It seemed like it was a midnight kind of talk show thing with a little goth dude and some other crazy shit. And I thought it was fucking amazing.
And it's 2 minutes to late night.
Yeah, what is that? Talk to me about
2
that.
minutes to late
2 minutes to late
night.
night. It's just a show that they started doing. It was sort of like a.
I mean, who are these people?
There's just I can't remember who the guy is. I think he might have been in a band or two back in the day or at some point, and they just decided to start this crazy sort of like talk show parody that's like metal focused. And one of the things that they did, instead of having like a house band like Johnny Carson or Conan has or whatever, they would like have the guests all kind of like sit in on a cover song, and they'd all play some like well known or maybe not so well known like metal or hard rock or heavy rock song together. And that sort of aspect of it sort of took off during the lockdown, because people started like needing more content, and they started seeing these things, and so they started doing those just sort of as like their own sort of thing, and got more and more like bigger names involved.
It's popular.
Cool
Yeah, you got to check it out if you have any time to check it out. Go check it out. It's cool.
Did you guys ever watch Daryl's House Did we talk about that before?
Daryl's-
Daryl
I don't
Hall having it's just, he's got a studio in his house, and
Like a Hall and Oates, is that what we're talking about?
and he started fairly early, not like in the infancy years of YouTube, but pretty early on, and it's a pretty cool concept. He just has other musicians on, pretty well-known ones, and what they'll do is he'll learn some of their songs and then they'll perform them together, and vice versa. So they'll always do a couple of Hall & Oates tunes, maybe some random covers mixed in, and then Daryl will sit in with the band or whoever the musician is. And I feel like Dave Grohl was on it at one point. You should check it out. I may be wrong about that, but that kind of thing is a super cool concept, and he seems like a cool dude, and he asks interesting questions. It wasn't a terribly long format, but a super cool idea. Daryl's house. Check it out.
Watching you.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, they've covered that time, and they'll usually work it into a style that makes sense for both entities. It's really cool. Check that out. That's too. Awesome. Well, tonight I'm going to be giving you guys an epic 12-question space trivia quiz. So now this will be definitely what could be considered Space 101, but this is some tricky shit. Yeah, I'm a fairly big space nerd, and I would have struggled with some of these because I didn't want it to be too easy, but some of them are no-brainers, so we'll see. But before we get to that, real quick, any news stories you guys had and you wanted to talk about?
Well, there was recently hit the world's record of most hot spot on the Earth, and
good.
Take a guess. Where do you think it is? It was 100. The old record was 129 degrees. Was the old
on all of Earth, not just the country, but the whole Earth. I would guess somewhere in like Africa, Sahara.
Yeah, John Mark.
Mongolia.
Damn. Chris, what do you think?
Death Valley.
Death Valley. All right. Well, let's give him a little ding, ding, ding for Chris. You got it right. It was Death Valley.
Oh, what's Death Valley?
The record was broken.
Oh, yeah, I got one for you.
Sunday.
There you
go.
Hey. Oh, yeah, bitch.
I'm doing this analog now because I'm tired of editing in the sound.
Do you have real bell in front of you?
No, there's an actual app. That's the Family Feud app. All it is 2 buttons, correct and wrong. It's amazing. It's a free app. So
diverse.
It really didn't top all that much. It was like 130 was the record, the new record. But like 130 is fucking. If you're on the middle of the desert, think about 130.
That's hard to fathom. I was out today, and it was like 100, but the other day it was like 105. I was freezing because the AC, thank God, it's been working fine. And I've just been sitting in my shorts inside writing all day, and I was like, I got about like 4 p.m. I'm like, I'm fucking freezing. So I walked outside to warm up, and I'm out there for like seriously 1 minute, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna die from a heat stroke. It's can you imagine 30 degrees on top of that?
Yeah.
Don't wanna.
No, I've been in there. I've been in places.
I think I'd have an instant panic attack.
Yeah. I've done attics where I've in the middle of summer.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Probably hotter than that.
Yeah, I had a heat thermometer with me, a digital one, and I pointed it up there, and it was like 140 or 150. I was already up.
That's an oven, son. That's literally in an oven.
Fighting your ass off. That's what it is.
A little bit more than that. That's how I slow cook my roasts. I don't think I get them so tender. I bet Lyle's all juicy and tender. If we, the 4 of us, were on a bus and it didn't explode, but it broke down, and we all got hungry, I think we'd have to eat Lyle first because he's probably been slow roasting in those attics over the years.
Yeah.
Think about it.
All those juices.
Well marbled.
Smoke those Marlboro.
But the meat just falls right off the bone.
Yeah.
What is it with you and eating people, Ron? Man.
I do bring cannibalism up one way or the other quite frequently.
There's a news quiz answer that is going to play right into what your needs today.
Good.
Oh, yeah. So you know how like Shark Week's been here, and I don't know if it's gone or not, but we love it every time it comes around. My favorite part about it is the megalodon. You ever watch those episodes with the sacred megalodon that's never been found but thinks it exists because it's
Nope.
I love it. Love that stuff. So I guess apparently, and I can't even pronounce the name of this thing. Okay, You guys got to believe me when I say it's a weird fucking name, but like
We'll believe you.
all it is. Just imagine, all it is a giant fucking crocodile, and it's nicknamed the Terror-Crocodile. It's like DJJ shores.
Okay.
They found the skeletal remains of this thing, right? Okay, imagine this, and I only say this like because Megalodon, monster, a fucking shark. This thing was the size of a fucking school bus, and his teeth. This is a giant alligator.
Oh, there's the size of a what?
This is like a
school
giant
bus?
It's the body size of a school bus, and his teeth were as big as bananas, full grown bananas.
Look at the bones.
Think of that shit, dude. If what was
Are you
that
thinking
movie?
of it, Chris? How's that making you feel?
Lake.
I'm just looking at the ground and trying not to listen.
Yeah, remember that movie? Did you watch Grim Lake, or is it Groom Lake?
My movie?
No, that's Ron's movie. You're thinking of the one with Betty White.
Yes. So what was it
What
called?
the fuck was it called? Something like Lake Placid?
Lake
Oh
Placid.
yeah, Lake Placid. I don't know if I ever saw that.
Like that in real life.
That's
Oh my
right.
God.
It was about that.
Oh, huge. But like they existed.
Thunder-Croc.
Judge.
And it's not so much like they're non-existent. It's like they existed. So in my mind, they could still fucking exist.
Anything could exist in that ocean.
I
I
mean-
was just telling the girls this the other day, and I think I might have freaked them out a little bit. By he's like, there are places in the ocean that we haven't found.
No, it's good. They should be fucking afraid. Don't stop. I gotta say, guys,
Look, listen to Uncle Chris, kids.
we
Be
took a
afraid.
look into the zoo. We took a look into the zoo like last Saturday, the hottest day of the year, 100-degree weather.
Yeah,
in
naturally.
Seattle.
Great time to go walking through muggy Seattle.
And we didn't pick the day. It was we did. It was one of those things we have to make a
They picked
reservation
you.
ahead of time. So we didn't
Gotcha.
know. We didn't know. Yeah, it picked us. We didn't know it was gonna be 100 degrees. So we go to this fucking zoo. First off, the animals are miserable. They just want to sit in the shade in their kennels and cages. They don't want to come out. So we're not looking at any animals.
Right.
And then we wait 45 minutes in the heat to enter the fucking aquarium. Well, and we all know how I feel about fish. So I had to explain to all the people I came with that I'm on the floor and staying away from everything because I don't like fucking fish. But my kid loved it. It was great. But Jesus fucking Christ.
Mm-hmm.
Smoked a lot of pots.
Whatever you got to do to get yourself through it. I think that's part of probably doing a lot of those parental duties. Not necessarily being shit-faced, but no, sometimes being shit-faced. But yeah, sucking it up and just having to go through it. Doing things you don't want to do. Seeing things you don't want to know exist, let alone see. Now, I was just at the zoo not that long ago, and it seems like they've kind of ramped down their aquarium section from what I remember. Did they still have the octopus? We couldn't find the octopus last time.
We're in Tacoma, and they have a
Point
new
Defiance.
aquarium. So they have Point Defiance.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they got a new one that's apparently all the rage. I didn't look at much, so I don't know.
Good to know. Wanted to take that extra trip. Be a good excuse to stop in and say how do to John Mark in his new town.
That's right.
Uh-huh. Well, interesting shit.
On the
Mr.
final,
Crocodiles.
well, on the final note of that, like it's the coelacanth. It wasn't really discovered until the 1990s that it was still existed and
Yeah,
alive.
I feel like it was that recent. Mm-hmm.
I feel like this monster freaking alligator has to be somewhere alive and well in the jungles of Africa, somewhere. Let's just pretend it's real.
Mm. Oh, this wasn't an underwater thing. This was.
No, it's a crocodile.
Oh,
It was a
gotcha.
giant crocodile that roamed Africa. It was just like a
Well,
monster.
I just heard the other day that I don't know if this is scientific fact. I believe it is, but I haven't done any research to verify it. But it sounds like it could be true. That basically, I think it's like alligators or crocodiles, one of those, or maybe both of them, basically don't die of natural causes. Like unless they get killed by something or run out of food, they won't die. And if they have enough food, they'll just keep growing bigger and bigger and bigger.
That's why I want to say they're still alive. Like this
Yeah.
thing's just, yeah, it's
It
creepy.
looks like the coelacanth. The last one we saw was actually in 1938. So not as recent as we were thinking, but for something that was thought to be extinct for essentially forever.
Well, because I was told, well, I remember it. And in the 1990s, they found one off the tip of Africa or by Chile.
Well, maybe I'm not seeing the full story here, but
I don't think it was alive. I think they pulled it up in nets. It was
Yeah,
dead.
I know that they pulled something up. Yeah, that sounds about right. They pulled something up that they were like, what the fuck is this? It was some kind of dinosaur looking thing that was dead.
They pull it up. What? Nope. Right back down in the water.
What the fuck was that we just let go forever?
Those fuckers are nightmare fuel, dude. Those things are nasty looking. Nasty looking.
Well, I say it all the time. Anyone who's ever been on an airplane and just flown over a couple of states, you can see how much wilderness and just emptiness there is out there. Places that could have caves, caverns, underground lakes. There could be anything out there, and we all know that anything could be lurking in the ocean, which is why a lot of those phobias come to exist, because that's not really horror movie stuff. That's like the scientists are saying that. It's like, there really could be anything down there. We haven't gotten down there to see everything just yet. We've seen most. We've seen a lot of it, but we haven't seen every little nook and cranny. And even if we do get to the very bottom of every part of the ocean, which is unlikely, that still doesn't mean something wasn't lurking 15 feet into the shadows that we just didn't see. Look how long it took us to find living giant squids. But we finally did. That was the only thing Monster Quest ever actually successfully found. And I'm pretty sure that was like their first episode. They got a pretty amazing shot of this massive...
They buried the lead.
of this massive squid unopening right in front of the camera. But then the flash went off to get a better picture of it. And then behind it, even in the murkier shadows, was one that was open and looked like it was about to swallow the massive one. It was amazing to watch.
I peed a little when I seen that. I'm not
that's fucking nightmare fuel for me. I remember.
Yeah.
You guys remember the 2,000 Leagues Under the Sea, the 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea film back in the day where they fight the giant squid?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Well, that's where those stories came from. That's where the ancient maritime legends of sea beasts and the kraken and all those things came from. All they saw were these giant tentacles, and the legends of the giant ones being big enough to tear apart ships. Probably never happened, but how stories get told. They certainly could have been one that tore apart a smaller boat, a smaller ship.
Like a skiff or a dinghy.
Yeah, and then they tell that story, and then someone sees, one of these things in person, or like wrapping its tentacles around a boat, and the story grows. But they're all based on some sort of thing that they saw, and they knew nothing back then about what was under. So you can imagine how the stories would have been terrifying. I don't know if it's more terrifying now that we do know.
Well, it was some to say about under the oceans and stuff like that, like the Mediterranean Sea. If you look about like ancient Egypt and everything that's going on with like Greece and Athens and shit like that, when our global polar icebergs melted and receded.
Iceborg. That is a sci-fi production waiting to happen. He was frozen for 20 decades.
Frozen
Iceborg.
The icebergs, when they melted and they all receded up to the fucking goddamn poles. Would you shut? Shish. There were over 200 cities that were buried underwater. So there's way over 200 cities, old mythical cities that are buried. There could be Atlantis buried in the middle of the fucking ocean, and it's just buried.
Yeah, dozens of Atlantises.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's all kinds of ancient cities that have been like covered by rising water levels.
What if just one of them happened to quickly evolve to be able to survive underwater? We got like a real town of sea monkeys somewhere there under the Arctic.
That'd be awesome.
That'd be under the sea.
Under the sea.
Wow.
With all this sea stuff, and I knew Chris would be a little upset. I wanted to bring.
Yeah, he signed off.
I know he's gonna. I felt bad, and so like I brought a story. I brought a story about a haunted doll, and I want to send it to you guys. I don't know how to send it to you. I can send it to you.
One of your own phobias.
Let me send it through our chat here.
Okay. While you're sending that, before we move on from the shark thing, did Mike Tyson ever fight a shark? Did we ever get closure on that bullshit?
I don't have tables.
Wasn't it Shaquille O'Neal who was going to do something with the Shark Week? The fighting of the shark or the thing?
Well, no, remember Lyle brought this story a couple of weeks back.
I remember that, but I thought I've seen on Twitter recently something about Shaquille O'Neal like doing Shark Week shit. I don't know. Whatever.
Sharquille O'Neal.
Sharquille O'Neal.
Yeah, this is basically a TikTok video. And it was a girl that had a doll that was up in the closet. We could kind of debunk it probably. To me, I mean, it could be either or, probably fake, but yeah, I'll let you guys all look at that.
Okay. Okay.
If it's real, it's pretty fucking creepy.
Spoiler, it's not real.
A Chucky-esque doll sitting on top shelf of the closet, which it already... You can't see the doll's face in the video. You can see its legs, and they're inexplicably moving. All right, let me just go ahead here.
Where did you send this?
It's
The chat. Skype chat.
Skype. I hate this interface. I don't know what's going on.
It's just the envelope. Just open it. Click it.
And it's just... So what's it... What am I supposed to be watching? What's the key part here? Where it's swinging?
Yeah, apparently it's just alive in the closet.
I don't see it moving anywhere.
Excuse me.
Many people were concerned about the doll owner's safety. Yeah, I'm not seeing any footage.
Oh, you know, I don't think it shows it all.
Yeah, I don't see anything. It's just a bunch of text telling the story, but then there's no footage of the actual thing.
You don't.
Oh. Oh,
So
okay. I didn't scroll down. I was watching one of a few videos. Okay, this looks to be...
Oh my god, oh my god.
Oh, okay. So it's up on the shelf, kicking his leg. Well, that's very short. Let me rewind it. Rewind it. Good lord.
Oh my god.
Be
Oh my god,
kind.
oh my god. Oh my...
Oh my... Yeah, interesting. Easy to fake,
Oh my
but...
god. Oh my god, oh my god. Oh my...
Fishing wire, maybe. Maybe.
Yeah, it does kind of look like fishing wire, oddly. The way it's lifted.
God, that would be creepy to see though. Just walking around the corner,
It's a good prank. Yeah, get your kids to walk in. It's like, is that a
Be earthquake
powered doll? No, mommy. What? Ah! Good little clicking sound too on its "No Place Like Home" activity.
I'm not a fan.
No, but I'm proud of you for working through your fears and
Well,
sharing
hey,
them. And that was
life.
sweet of you to balance out Christopher's.
Yeah,
Thanks, man. Appreciate that, Lau.
I care, bro. You guys gotta see the tattoo I'm gonna get. It's fucking hilarious.
Is it I Heart CFH? I'm into it.
Maybe. We'll
On a fish.
We'll see.
It would be great if next time we see Lau, he's like, check it out, guys. And he undoes his fucking shirt and he's got like a prison tattoo of all of our faces on his tum-tum.
I'd like to see that.
Figure.
Each one of us is dressed like a different member from Kiss. I'm the
Hey,
cat.
we should do that. That'd be a great How Bizarre promotional photo shoot. We should all
Except we have
go
live
as
show.
kids.
There was a mother in Ukraine, and I want to see. This is just kind of like a poll. I want to find out how many people would actually do. Would you do this for your kid or loved one? Is their son was charged with murder. We're in the Ukraine. Her son was charged with murder and was put in prison, and so she decided that she was going to break him out. So she and she was 51 years old. So I mean, she was of age, pretty old, and she ended up renting property next to the prison and digging a 10-foot tunnel.
No.
With shovels and manual tools. And this is a 10-foot wide, so in a circumference, 10 foot. That went 35 feet. Dude, think about that. At 51 years old, that's pretty goddamn impressive.
Mm-hmm.
She worked the disguise of night, where she used buckets and bucketed up through the tunnel.
The classic thing.
And totally did it manually, and her whole quest was to pop up, emerge behind the prison walls, to emerge inside.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of almost like, it's almost comical. Like
It's a cartoon, yeah.
I think she got busted.
Well, we know. So I'm guessing she didn't pop up in the right spot, or
By the time she got caught, she removed over 3 tons of earth over the course of 3 weeks.
Oh,
This mother pretend literally
3 tons?
3 tons of dirt.
mother's love. Hmm?
You know what else weighed 3 tons? That iceberg that the Titanic hit.
Iceborg, right ahead. That's an amazing story. I want to know. Well, does it say how they actually caught her?
It doesn't, unfortunately.
Be amazing if it was like a cartoon situation where she popped her head up and it was
Right
like at the warden's office.
Spotlights.
Like, what have we got here?
What are you doing in my corpse hatch?
Like, oh my God, I finally made it. Honey, pack your...
Did I say corpse hatch? I meant Innocence Cube.
Innocence Cube. That's good stuff. Well,
if the Titanic hit the iceberg, it would have repaired the ship and sent it away sailing.
That's true. It's like mighty bad. All good.
Fixed hell.
Much more exciting story. Well, maybe not. 2,000 people dying in the cold Atlantic, I suppose, was plenty of excitement.
Well, I hope someday they'll find those ancient cities underwater.
Mm-hmm. Although, well, yeah, our submarine technology will get better. By the way, I saw one of the best accidentally funny headlines I've seen in a while today. That said China may be hiding submarines beneath the ocean. Like,
that's where they're
fiends.
Yeah.
Those absolute
How
scoundrels.
dare they?
What a clever scheme to put their fucking submarines down in the water where we can't see them. Mm-hmm.
If it weren't for you meddling kids.
Hey, did you guys ever have those little plastic toys that were submarines that you would fill them up with baking powder and they'd float?
Baking powder, awesome. Little, and just add vinegar.
They would sink and float. Beep,
yeah,
beep, beep,
that just remind me of those.
They'd haul
exciting
ass
times.
Too.
Exciting times in the bathtub.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
We were so poor though, I had to make my own. You know what I'm saying? Some of them floated, some of them didn't. A little game of luck that I'd like to play.
Would you say it was a crapshoot?
Thank you. Good night. All downhill from here.
Mm-hmm.
Anywho, so John Mike, you had your new weekly bit.
Yeah,
what you got for us?
We have some debatably accurate and true or not true tabloid stories from around the world.
Would you say it's a crap
What?
Good stuff. Okay.
So the first one is a British municipal worker whose phone accidentally played pornography during a staff meeting has been fired after claiming the moaning noises were, in fact, made by a goose. About 100 people at the meeting broke into awkward laughter when David West, an electrician from the Redditch Borough Council, opened a video of a woman making loud, quote, sexual moans, which continued for 30 seconds while he frantically tapped the phone.
Oh my God. 30 seconds sounds like a fucking lifetime.
That is
eternity,
like, hit
right?
the fucking mute button, bitch.
Every time I watch porn on my phone and I go like close the tab, I fucking concentrate so hard on making sure I close it.
Out of because it'll autoplay, right? Like some videos autoplay just by opening up the window again.
I mean, I imagine every single person that lives has been to Pornhub and watched a video at least once. I don't know if you've ever heard those fucking ads that come on that say, if you like Pornhub, you'll love Pornhub Live.
Sure.
Like, it's so fucking loud
30 times a day.
Not that I've ever seen it. I've heard about that on the podcast.
What would be funny if he was like, I like the goose explanation. So but what if he showed you his phone and it was a video of somebody fucking a goose? That would be only to make that better.
When the bosses confronted him,
I don't know about that. That's kind of like, well, it's like, you see, it'd be half true. Like, it's a goose.
It's true. I didn't say what was happening to said goose.
And they're like, yeah, that's even worse. When bosses confronted him, West insisted the deleted video had shown a goose honking. Colleagues disputed his story. I know the sound of a goose, said one, and it wasn't that.
I know the other sound real well.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with geese, but I'm familiar with D's nuts. Busting D's nuts. Yeah. Interesting.
Let's see. So, got a couple more.
Are we supposed to guess which one's real?
No. These
you're just sharing.
It just says it must be true. I read it in the tabloid, so we don't know, whether this is true or not. But it can be. We can assume that it's true.
That one's easy to assume.
Yeah, a team of Czech scientists has assigned a robot to write a performable stage play by January 2021. Researcher Rudolf Rosa of Charles University in Prague said the intention of his team's effort is to honor the RUR, or Rossum's Universal Robots, a 1921 play credited with originating the term robot. 100 years ago, a man wrote a theater play about robots, Rosa said. What if today robots wrote a theater play about men? His team has partnered with some stage professionals, and Rosa said the January premiere of the robot-conceived production is clear and fixed.
Okay.
Interesting.
I'm way into this. Here's what I'd really like to see, though. I want to see the fucking play that they produce. I want to see the robots like put it on, right? But then I want to see the same exact thing with like the programming turning the drama to like 12. You know, like just like make it as dramatic as possible.
Mm-hmm. Melodrama.
And see the same.
Yeah. Robotic melodrama. Yeah. Well, I wonder if it would be. I'm sure you've seen these. Like somebody forces, like they write a robotic code and forces a robot to read a whole bunch of Batman books and then turn it loose to write its own version. They're pretty amazing. I'm pretty sure those are bullshit, but they're done so well that it's a great premise. They're pretty funny.
I got a few more if you want to hear another one, or
why don't we save them? Unless you got one that we can't live without, because we're 40 minutes in, and I got a pretty big quiz to give y'all.
I don't think there's anything that we can't live without.
Save it.
Week, so.
Hold on to it, baby. I like this, John Mark. Maybe Ron will write you a theme song.
I might, maybe just, and then lose it in 2 years, and then never do it again. It's kind of our shtick. Okay, so Chris, do you have anything before we get on to a space trivia round of space quiz in space?
In space.
In
Good,
space.
strange trivia for you guys today. I'm pretty happy with it.
Okay, good. Well, let's go right on in. Let me pull up my questions.
This is going to be bad, FYI.
Well, we'll see. Again, some of these are pretty easy. Just do your best. I bet everyone playing at home is going to have very similar results as y'all. So we're going to start with multiple choice. So you don't need your phones just yet, but keep them handy. So first off, the famous red spot on Jupiter is A, a massive hurricane-like storm, B, a giant ball of swirling gas trapped inside the weather of a massive crater, or C, a shadow from one of its landlocked moons. We're going to start with John Mark, since he wins all these fucking things. We're going to give you guys the benefit of hearing which way he swings, and you can do with that what you want. Then we'll go with Lyle, and Christopher F. rarely gets to play a quiz, gets the coveted caboose spot. So what say you, John Mark? Yeah, finally you can be a
I
catcher.
say it's a hurricane-like storm.
Hurricane-like storm?
A.
Okay. Lyle, what say ye?
Jupiter, sir?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say I'm going with Jupiter.
How do you spell it?
I'm going with Uranus. No,
Mm-hmm.
it's going to be a storm.
Going
That's a
with the
heavy
storm.
storm. I'll come on those winds and right there on Jupiter.
Interesting. And Christopher?
I believe it's a storm as well.
It is indeed a storm. That will be the easiest question, I'm guessing. But, you got to get the ball rolling here. And it is, of course, a storm, and it's been raging for over 350 years. And they say that it's bigger than our entire planet. Like if you lowered the Earth onto the surface, it would go in the middle of that fucking storm. That's how huge it is.
Wow.
That is a weather pattern, my friend. Y'all got that right? Oh, shoot. I got to have my... There we go. Keep that handy here. Doesn't it feel nice?
Oh.
This will get tough when I need to use the phone for results. Okay, moving on. Saturn, of course, is known for its rings of ice and space rock. And for a long time, we thought that Saturn was the only planet that had rings around it. But advancements in telescope technology has shown us otherwise. Which other planet has rings around it? Is it A, Jupiter, B, Uranus, C, Neptune, or D, all of the above?
You don't want rings around your anus?
John Mark, what say ye?
Oh shit. I'm gonna say Uranus.
You're gonna go with Uranus. Mm-hmm. How dare you pronounce it that way, traitor! Traitor with the brown crown. Lyle, which way you were swinging?
Can you do a quick run?
Jupiter?
I think it was Jupiter.
Uranus, Neptune, or all of the above?
It's Neptune.
You're going with Neptune.
That icy planet.
That icy bitch. That cold, icy bitch. Christopher, what say ye?
The problem with going last is you always, even like you feel like you know what the answer is, but John Mark's already said it, so it sounds like you're riding his coattails.
You copy.
Uranus.
You going with Uranus?
You want circles in your anus? Disgusting.
Oh, well, that was our first whiff.
Oh, fuck.
It
All
was
the above?
It was all of the above. Yeah, as it turns out, all of the giant gas planets have rings. No, they're much smaller, of course, than Saturn's, but experts do think that at some point down in the distant future, they could all look more like Saturn. There are some pretty remarkable shots from the Hubble, the high-def ones, where you can see pretty clear, these thin rings. It's kind of like seeing Saturn, however many billion years ago when it was being born.
Ain't gravity a strange bitch?
Ain't it a bitch indeed? Okay, so no one got that one right. Moving on to question 3. Titan is the second largest moon in our solar system and often regarded as the space rock that's most likely to inhabit life forms because it has a similar atmosphere to that of earlier Earth. What planet does Titan orbit? Is it A, Saturn, B, Jupiter, or C, Mercury? Second largest moon in the solar system.
I should know this. I think it's Jupiter.
I think you should know it, but it's a little tricky. I think it's a little tricky.
Yeah.
Going with Jupiter?
Yeah. Fuck.
Okay, Lyle.
Yeah. Fuck.
I'm gonna go with Jupiter also.
Interesting. And Christopher F. Hart.
For some reason, Mercury jumped right into my head when you said that, so I'm going to go with that.
Well, interesting. Another whiff.
God damn it.
Yeah, this one was kind of tricky
Saturn,
because
wasn't it?
I often get the moons of Jupiter and Saturn mixed up. I've talked about being able to look at the moons of Jupiter. We just looked at it the other night. If you go put a pair of binoculars up at Jupiter right now, you can easily see 3 or 4 of its moons orbiting around. It's really cool. But Saturn's Titan, yeah, that's a fascinating moon because we once thought it was the largest moon in our solar system, but when we sent Voyager over it in 1980, we found out that the atmosphere of Titan was actually just much higher off of the ground, like it ended higher off the ground, which made the moon itself appear larger. But that's when we realized
is Jupiter, right?
What's that?
Io is Jupiter.
Boy, I think so. It's not on my list, so maybe. I don't know. I learned along the way of making this. So some of these are tricky, but that made Jupiter's Ganymede, I believe is how it's pronounced, Ganymede. The Ganymede moon now was the largest moon in our solar system. Now, speaking of Ganymede, this is another fascinating moon because of what is hiding just beneath its outer surface, which is A, a completely hollow void, B, an entire layer of ocean, or C, a miniature sun with its own miniature solar system orbiting it inside.
No. You shut your fucking mouth.
Space is magical, man. Space is magical. All right. John Mark, what say ye?
I'm gonna go with the ocean.
An entire layer of ocean. Okay. Lyle?
I want to play No Man's Sky. And tell you.
I'm bored. Bye.
Do me a favor.
You should.
Futuron. Can you play Ocean Man for me right now at this point in time?
Ocean Man, take me by the hand, lead me to the land that you understand. Good stuff.
That's the one.
Oh, so you're going with B? Didn't even catch your answer. Yeah, go ahead, Chris.
Oh, my gut served me well so far. Let's go with C, baby. Mini universe. Give it to me.
Well, John Mark and Lyle are right. Christopher, well, yeah, there's no miniature sun. It's very satisfying to have you going for some of my bullshit rap ones because I've done this for
like
10
revenge.
years.
It just feels like revenge.
It's a kind of revenge.
Feels dirty.
Very satisfying, but it's anybody's game. We got lots of questions left, and it's only 1 to 2. So the entire thing is thought to have a subsurface of pure ocean underneath. Now, this is hypothesis based on a lot of things, but they believe that the core underneath that ocean is nickel and iron, which is what makes it highly magnetic, which is apparently the only moon and maybe one of the only heavenly bodies out there that really is a giant floating magnet. So that would have its own tractor beam if you flew anything metal near it, I'm guessing. Go ahead, Lau.
I bet you that's the home of the megalodon, and they just live there.
God, I just had this vision.
Listen,
of terrible
imagine
creatures.
anything swimming in that thing, because we don't fucking know. Yeah, it's
a fucking billion things that look like Lady in the Water. Not like what's that? The fucking fish movie I made you watch where the lady fucks the fish.
Shape of Water. Wait, is it? Yeah, is it the
Shape of Water?
Yeah.
Yeah, Shape of Water. It's
Dude,
a great movie.
That's what I was thinking when I probably knew this fact somewhere in the back of my head, but I didn't remember it until I read that. And I'm like, holy shit. Like, imagine, because picture, it's not like pockets of water. They're saying that the way this planet works, this moon, is it's essentially a crust of ocean. Now, maybe some areas of solid ice, of course, to keep the crust from caving in places, and in other places it's just a thin crust and anything could be living on it. And there is an atmosphere. This is why they predict that there is water under that crust. Of course, we don't really know, but that is the going theory. The incredibly interesting moon of Ganymede. Now, Ganymede? Maybe it's Ganymede. I think I always heard it.
I think you had it right.
It was
You
Ganymede.
can watch The Expanse, because I think they visit there. There's a place there. You visit Ganymede.
Interesting.
Yeah. The station on there. Fascinating.
So, moving on to question 5. Which of these
Such a good show.
Which of these is not a real galaxy that we have discovered? So you want to choose the one that I made up. Is it A, the Tambourine Galaxy, B, the Sombrero Galaxy, C, the Pinwheel Galaxy, or D, all of the above? I think this one's a little tricky unless you really know your galaxies.
Which one did you make up?
Yeah, you got to guess which one I made up.
Sombrero, Pinwheel, or what was the other one?
Tambourine.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with Tambourine.
Gonna go with Tambourine. Okay, Lyle.
Hola, senor. I'll have to go with your
Sombrero.
Your
That
sombrero.
would be a great thing to say. I'm gonna go with Pinwheel.
Yeah.
That's exactly
Or-
what he does
or
to me
C-
at news quiz sometimes.
Or C,
I'll be like, so
senor.
what are you saying, Lau?
Yes, excellent.
Okay, and Chris.
I'll go Pinwheel. Let's do this.
You're going to go Pinwheel. All right. Well, John Mark is right. I made up the Tambourine Galaxy. The
course you did.
Sombrero and Pinwheel.
course you
No, the Sombrero Galaxy doesn't really look exactly like a sombrero. It actually looks more like a tambourine, which is why that's what I thought up for my fake galaxy. But it's like this round, flat one. It's a really beautiful galaxy.
I was
And-
trying to think of how we put these questions together. I was really trying to get in your head there. I was like, well, you wouldn't
I'll
do
give you a
sombrero one
glimpse.
because it might sound a little racist.
Oh,
I'm trying to
good
avoid
thinking.
that these days.
I
was
would
thinking,
have,
well,
but that's a good thing.
Might do his favorite instrument, this tambourine. But I was like, maybe a little too on the nose.
Yeah, I do like to play me some tambourine. But yeah, that's one of those galaxies, like a lot of galaxies, that has a tasty, chewy, chocolatey black hole center. Now, the Pinwheel Galaxy is one that most of us have seen many times. It's that classic galaxy shape, really perfect spiral. And that one is about twice the size of our own Milky Way. Just a little factoid there for you. Question number 6. John Mark is in the lead, but it's still a 1-2-3 game, so anybody's game. Question 6. How many of the known full planets have we visited with our spacecraft? Now, this can include landing on the surface or really close flybys, like we've actually gotten our spacecraft all the way up there and taken a close investigation. Is it A, 3, B, 6, or C, all 9 of them? John Mark.
Let's see here. No, I had it on mute. I'm gonna go with shit. Have we ever done a flyby of Pluto?
Hmm.
Well, of
6.
course they have.
So if it was 6 and there's 3, it's 3 that would be missing, and it seems like that I'm gonna go with all 9.
Okay.
Whoa.
All 9.
Whoa.
He's not doubling. He's tripling down. Lyle?
I'm going with all 9.
Going
I believe
all
it.
9
I
too?
think so. We've had to go past them all with their telescopes.
We've been going after him for a while.
Far galaxies far away, sir.
Mm-hmm. It's true.
You guys can get fucked. I can't imagine we've been to all 9. I'm going with 6.
You going with 6?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Lyle and John Mark are right.
I'm quitting.
Sorry, Chris.
Oh my God, this is painful.
Yeah. Well, you see, you don't have the practice that we all do doing the quiz, where we really have to analyze everything and say, is there a pattern? There's always a pattern, even if you don't mean to include one. And I'm sure you guys may or may not be catching wind, but that was good reasoning. I probably should have bumped that number. I didn't want to make it too hard. If I bumped B up to like 7 or 8, I think John Mark might have had a harder time, but he deduced that I know we've done most of them, and there would be only one.
You could have done it, said 12, and then said all of them. That all would have been a trick question, because it would have been like, okay, all of them.
Count the dwarves. Yeah, we have landed on or flown close to all of the known planets. That's another thing that honestly I didn't know until I looked into it. All right. Now, moving into the, now these aren't all true or false. Some of them are. In fact, I think there's only a couple of true or falses. The rest are going to be just sending me your answers, but I feel like this will work better game show style. So get your phones ready and send me a text message just to me. Start that thread and send your answers to this question right here. Which planet has the shortest day?
Wait. Oh, I got it backwards.
Chris, you want to give another go?
Yeah.
I haven't read any of the answers yet.
God, I'm so bad at space.
Okay. So Christopher is going with Mercury. John Mark is going with Mercury. And Lyle is going with Uranus.
It's so far away.
Well, it's actually Jupiter.
Fuck me.
I know. This one is a little tricky. Oh, I got to get my buzzer. Because you would think that it would be longer because it's huge, but its rotation is so fast that it actually flattens out the shape of the planet.
Yeah, I was thinking of orbit
was
around
in another
sun.
place.
I was thinking of orbit around the sun. I was thinking, that's where I got tripped up.
Yeah.
Right there with you, buddy.
Tricky one. Another
Well,
whiff.
hey guys, are we in the camp that fucking Pluto's still a planet?
Yeah, it's back to being a planet.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a planet.
I never thought it wasn't. So
yeah, I felt offended when they took it off the list.
Right, it's a little rude.
It's totally rude. Come on. Okay, true or false? The rise and fall of the tides on Earth is caused by the moon.
Bomba dang dang diggy diggy. Oh wait, that's
Bomba dang 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 diggy diggy diggy.
True moon.
True moon. I saw you fucking my tide. Okay, you all went true, and you were all correct. Tried to throw you off there a little bit with an obvious one, but some of these that we've grown up hearing about, they aren't really so. But this one is 100% true. The moon's gravitational pull essentially causes the Earth to bulge, and then the moon gives us a chubby, and that pulls the water this way or that away when it shifts, and the tide goes back however way it's being pulled. I saw Moon Bulge open for Frank Zappa back in '85.
I seen him play for Motion of the Ocean.
I eventually saw Frank Zappa open up for Moon Bulge.
He did have a kid named Moon Unit.
Oh my God, this is weird.
Frank Zappa name. Dweezil, Moon Unit, and what was the other one? It was more of a Middle Eastern name. Anywho, okay, so John Mark is looking pretty good here, but we got a few more. He's in the lead with 5. Lyle is right behind with 4. Christopher needs some making up with these last few questions at deuce. You got a deuce right now. So, question number 9. There are 2 planets in our solar system that cannot be seen with the naked eye, and that's why they were not known to exist to the ancient astronomers. Name at least one of them. There are two ways you could go about answering that if you know any of the trivia there.
I don't feel good about this.
Well, we will see. Aha!
Reasons for Alice.
Just came to me in about 30 seconds. You all three said Pluto. Interesting.
Deduction was it's the farthest in the galaxy. That'd be therefore and small. That'd be hard to see with your naked eye.
The answer is in fact Neptune and
Doorbell.
Uranus.
Damn
Now,
it.
Neptune wasn't discovered until 1846, which is
Isn't that seem huge?
crazy. Yeah, but it's not about the size. It's about how, what the
Glistens.
atmosphere and what it's made of, how it reflects
Yeah, I
that
suppose
light
you're-
back into. But 1846, isn't that crazy that there's like Old West days, early Old West days where there was no planet Neptune? I didn't know about it yet. I find that interesting. Now, Uranus was first discovered by William Herschel in 1781, and he originally wanted to call the planet Georgian Cetus after King George III. But nope, he was overruled by someone with a taste for ass, and we went with Uranus. But yeah, little tidbit there. All right, so no one got anything on that. Moving on to question 10, almost done here. Which planet is, going back to that question, is consistently the brightest in our night sky? I'll give you a hint. Think about what I had just said concerning size. Text me your answers.
Oh
please.
shit! I know what it is, and it's not that. Fuck. Oh well. I already sent it. So.
Well, no one else has sent. I'll give you 1 second to send me another guess if you want.
Oh, yeah.
Or you can stick with that one. Okay, I have John Marks and Christopher's. Lyle is typing. I can see the 3 dots. I got it. How do I spell it?
I'll tell you in a second after you.
Okay, so looks like we got everybody. Christopher said Saturn. John, Mark, and Lyle both said Venus. John, Mark, and Lyle are both correct.
Damn, good job.
Yeah,
Fuck off.
that's a tricky one.
My spell check was typing penis.
Oh,
And
well,
I-
it does that.
It's like-
I
It's
bet
just
it
used
was,
to it.
Lyle.
It's
What the fuck?
just used to. What the
Venus.
fuck? I ain't getting nothing.
What the fuck? Why you keep at Venus?
Why's my phone gay?
Yeah, Venus is actually, other than the moon, it's actually the brightest object in the sky on a typical night.
God, wow, that's cool.
Brighter than
Oh, you
even
can see,
the
you can
stars.
see Venus with your naked eye, Chris.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. Faux show. Okay, so moving on.
It should be like when it gets to be nighttime, the first thing you see, like the first bright thing you see besides the moon in the sky, should be Venus.
Yeah,
And then
often is. Okay, this is actually the final question. Which planet in our solar system has 2 moons that were given the Latin names for fear and panic? It's a good trivia question.
What?
Text
Say it
me.
again.
Which planet in our solar system has 2 moons that were given the Latin names for fear and panic?
Ugh.
It's a double-ended question. You really got to know the names, I guess, or how many moons are on any particular planet.
Fucking guessing.
Okay.
I like how my quizzes are all like, what this fucking troglodyte from Florida do? Anybody's guess. And yours like, let's see who's got a basic education.
Well, I wouldn't dare, impede upon your shtick, so I got to go a different way when I do these. But okay, so we have Christopher went with Uranus, but he was going to. Lyle went with Neptune, and John Mark went with Mars. John Mark just can't be stopped. It is absolutely Mars. The 2 moons were discovered in 1877
Ding, 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 ding.
by Asaph Hall. Asaph Hall. Let's enjoy that name. And he named them Phobos and Deimos, which is fear and panic in Latin, which was tied to the overall original Greek mythology of Mars, or Ares being the god of war. So that's how that came to be.
You know what's fucking sad about this whole thing is that the reason I know that is from playing fucking Doom games.
Well, that's what I'm saying. There's a lot of ways that you could learn these names. You guys knew about that moon from watching The Expanse. Yeah. Well, good job, John Mark. Now let's see how you do with the quiz. I can only imagine.
I am fucking ready to just flip the script on you, you motherfucker.
Yeah, I bet you're inspired
after
here.
That, I'm sore. My butt hurts.
To make me look uneducated for not knowing if someone pooped their trouser or got raped by a crocodile.
Square things in H? I can't resist.
I'm ready. I'm extra ready too.
Y'all ready for this?
How about you?
Okay. I did send you guys over a photo to take a peek-sees at as in regard to question number 1. Recently, in a random Facebook group I am a part of, I saw a posting for a very real sex toy that was released by a company called Serial Pleasures, who specialize in novelty sex toys that might appeal to a more macabre demographic. This particular sex toy pays homage to one of the world's best-known serial killers, and it is shaped like a human bone. That is the picture I sent you. That is the actual sex toy. Here's a little description of the product from the manufacturer.
Is that your hand holding it? What is it?
This dildo is 10.5 inches of dragon skin, trademark, silicone, a product clinically tested by dermatologists, is molded on a humerus, actual human humerus, which has been polished to provide optimum penetration. This is the real
Take you
thing.
to Bone Town, indeed.
Now, here we go with my question. The name of this product gives you an idea who they are paying homage to. What is it called? I'm very proud of these. Is it A, the Green River... One more time. The Green River Driller.
Oh, yeah. Like it.
A little local.
Is it B, the Bun Dildo?
The Bun Dildo?
Huh?
Okay.
Is it C, Jack the Diddler? Or was it D, the Jeffrey Dicker?
The Jeffrey Dicker. Wow. Okay.
I just tell you that I don't like anything about any of this.
You want to take Jen to Bone Town with one of these?
The Green River Driller isn't up your alley.
It's got dragon skin on
It's
it.
like, my aunt was killed by the Green River Killer, you fuck.
Ron Street, you're going to go first for us today, okay?
Well, the Jeffrey Dicker, I believe is what it was. That one isn't my favorite name, but if this is based on a real serial killer, I feel like there would be more tied specifically to bones. So I gotta go with that one, even though I do like the musicality of pretty much all the other ones, especially the Green River Driller. But when I think of bones, when I think of like serial killers, I think of different things with each of these serial killers. I don't think bones necessarily with Jeffrey Dicker or Dahmer. But
gotcha.
But he did eat
You're
them, and he would have probably eaten them down to the bone, like right at the cob. So that's my.
Here we go again. Here we go again.
No, you're right. I may have a problem.
We gotta talk about this.
We probably
like
shouldn't.
Right? Or maybe
Probably
eat some
should
more.
not. Yeah, that might be.
Okay. Mark, let's move on.
I like the one thing that I can appreciate about any of this horribleness is the Green River Driller. So I'm going with that. And if you made that up, then kudos to you, good sir.
Well, we got two hometown heroes here. We got Bundy and what was it? The Bun Dildo.
That's good.
Okay, Lyle, what do you got for me?
you won me. You won my heart with the diddler because it's just
He
tickled.
usually does. Just tickled pink.
But Ron's got a fucking point. Ron's got a huge point. That dude was a cannibalist, and the only thing that really represents is like cannibalism. So I'm gonna have to go with the Jeffrey Dahmer.
Jeffrey Dicker.
He's like, have respect
Yes, I'll play your game,
to my
Jeffrey
made up name.
What just
Yes, I'll play your game. Jeffrey Dicker. I don't know. I might have gone with Jeffrey Reamer.
Oh, fair enough. I was proud of what I came up with, sir. I'll have you know.
They're all great.
We're gonna continue on this weird train to Ron's pre-therapeutic sessions with my next question here, or at least one of the answers, I should say.
It's gonna make me hungry.
A Swedish scientist of note made some waves recently when he appeared on a TV show about the future of food and advocated for this as a solution to global warming. Was it A, that humans need to adhere to a diet that consists mainly of tuna fish, tomatoes, and iceberg lettuce?
Iceberg lettuce. Yeah, it is the crispiest.
Is it B, that doing more analingus, aka ass eating, would reduce our carbon footprint overall?
I've been reading a lot of bad things about licking butt.
Yeah, there's always another side. Was it C,
Two sides to every situation, I guess.
that we need to genetically engineer cows that do not produce methane gases?
Yeah, like seedless watermelons.
Or is it D, that humans should start eating other humans?
Wow. Well, that does feel like a bit of a Ron herring. But that does also seem... Now, what? This was from Sweden?
Why am I licking my lips? Yeah, Sweden.
Tasty.
Why would he say...
Hey, stay away from me, guys.
Say
see
eating
you looking-
ass. I don't think a nutritionist would... Wait, what was this guy's... I'm sorry, what was this guy's role? Was he a nutritionist? What? Why is he weighing
He's a scientist. He's a scientist, that has done certain studies on this particular thing, and he was on this TV show, and he made waves by suggesting one of these things.
Okay.
That this is going to be a solution to global warming.
I feel like eating more people. I think that seems like something that might be said almost as a stunt to get attention for global warming and science. At the same time, if you think about it, if we ate even a fraction of our population, that in and of itself would help with global warming, right?
Especially with COVID.
Less
Think about that.
Less pollution. I'm going with D. I'm going eating more fucking people. I feel like that's a herring. Yeah. So I think Green may have been onto something.
Is it the other white meat herring?
We're definitely red. We're pure red.
Oh, I can hear your mouth salivating, Ron. Stop it. Words
was
are
thinking
much
about
more
that
slippery
hammy-
as they.
Those hammy insides from the bodies exhibit. You
Oh
Chinese
my God.
prisoners sure look good on the inside.
And they-
Well, I think we've gone over this before, but you know that some of the cannibal tribes call human flesh long pig, right? Because it tastes like
Yes,
pork.
long pig. I've been playing the
Because
long
it's
pig this whole time, you know.
Tastes
Yeah,
like-
anyways,
Mark, what are you going with?
I'm going with the people. Go with the cannibalism.
All right. Lyle.
I would love to be assimilated by the iceberg lettuce. I have a feeling I've seen memes of this, of like with acres of cows with
Acres of cows.
rectal properties that go into machines.
Eborgs.
Yeah.
Acres of cows.
Maybe
That's right.
they're being assimilated.
Mm-hmm.
Their farts are being assimilated by a
Yeah, I've been
machine.
hearing stories about cow farts
it's-
actually fucking our
Oh, they have
ozone
been
up
for years.
for eons.
But the meme
Or a decade.
the meme I seen, they had tubes up the butts of these cows go into a machine that was a purifier. So like in science, like in theory, I mean, if you're gonna write it on a fucking chalkboard, I'm supposed that's what it'd look like. My little cows would be more like stick figure cows,
Mhm.
and then like into a factory would be a barn, and then in that barn, they would take their farts into like I don't know, like flowers or something. Smelled nice. Yeah.
Do something with all right. Cow farts.
So you're going with C. We should genetically engineer cows that do not produce methane gas.
Yeah, in a sense. Yeah.
Okay. All right, let's move on to question 3. And lucky for you, motherfuckers, it's a Florida Daily Dubs.
Ding, 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 ding. Hey, let's get that ding.
Ding.
Oh yeah. Sorry, I put my phone down.
One more time. It's the Florida Daily Dubs.
Ding, 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 ding.
I muted my phone. Okay, one more time.
One more time with spirit.
Hey, with feeling.
Hey guys, guess what?
Oh, God damn. Wow.
Let's just leave that one.
It just bodes grand. Huh?
Wow. I think we leave that alone now. That was
yeah, it's great.
That was perfect. First try.
Nailed it.
Daily Dubs, guys. Authorities were called out to Lakeland Linder International Airport on Friday because of a discovery that was made that shut the whole airport down for a period. The discovery in question was a delivery it had received on accident. What was delivered to the airport in error that shut it down? Was it A, 26 tons of fireworks that arrived from China?
Yeah, that'd be alarming.
Was it B, 100 vials of live Ebola virus?
Ooh, Jesus.
Is it C, a giant French air-to-air missile?
How did that get misplaced?
Or D, 26 human corpses?
God, have I gone D with everything so far?
You usually do.
Fuck. Although you just had a bunch of corpses found somewhere story.
What are you doing in my corpse hatch?
Boy, I'm torn between the corpse one and Ebola. I think given where we're at right now, what would freak us out more to make news would be another virus situation. So I'm going to go with live Ebola.
Okay.
There's a thought.
Interesting. John Mark.
Let's continue the corpse theme and go with the corpses.
Ron's snack container. All right.
Yeah, I prefer fresh.
I might have to go with a dead ringer. Yeah, thank you.
I like that you got your own audience.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with
fireworks.
No, the dead bodies.
Okay. All right. Excuse me. All right, and lastly, excuse me, one more time. Words tough.
Mm-hmm.
This next question came to me at my fancy new email address, christopher.bizarre@gmail.com, from listener Ben Morhaime. So thanks so much, buddy.
Wow, that's awesome.
I got a few of these from people, and it's really helpful, and I plan on using them. So please send me your stories when you find them that are wonky, and I'll throw them in here. So this one came from Ben. Sunbathers in a busy Berlin park were treated to an interesting scene earlier this month when they watched a large naked man chasing after this. And by all accounts, it was quite the chase. And yes, I have pictures. And to be fair, I believe this is a park that does allow a little nude sunbathing. So that may be why this man was naked.
Mm-hmm.
In Florida?
What was he chasing? What'd you say? No, this was in Germany.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Was he chasing a wild boar that had stolen his laptop?
So it said to me like he said whore. Did you say
whore? Mm-hmm.
A wild whore that it's a wild boar.
Gotta see this beach.
Or Timon, whatever he is.
Okay.
Is it B? Yes, that's the warthog. Is it B? I got your fucking laptop. Was it B? A mime that had, without words, insinuated that the man needed to perhaps lose a bit of weight.
I'd pay to see that.
See the puffy cheeks, the
Just
arm
like,
movement, adding the curvature of the tummy. Sad face.
Then run
Oh, fuck.
Was it C, the man's newspaper, which the wind picked up and comedically kept just fingertips length away from him for nearly the whole ordeal?
These are all cartoons.
Or was it D, the man's burrito, which started rolling down the hill the man was relaxing on?
Man, there's nothing more
good
better than
burrito.
hanging out in the park with your in your birthday suit and a nice
Your burrito.
Nice soft taco or a deep fried burrito. Mm-hmm.
Where are you going with, Ronster? What are you feeling?
Pig stole a laptop. A mime making fun of Fatty McGee.
His newspaper?
The newspaper
Just
that
out of
he's
reach?
chasing after.
Or his burrito?
Or the burrito rolling downhill. Fuck.
Honestly, all of these sound pretty preposterous.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I
it was
really
rope.
do. I'm going to go with the mime just because it really paints a picture. I'm going to go with the mime making fun of a fatty.
Okay.
He's like, I know what you're
Drama.
fucking saying without saying it, you little silent bitch.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
This was a beach.
But
in
I hope
Germany?
you didn't kill him because a mime is a
Germany.
terrible thing to waste.
Oh, wow.
What'd you say? A park? A what?
A park.
A park. I'm going with the wild boar.
Oh
No shit.
shit! Interesting
Laptop
choice.
thieving pig? Whew. Did I miss my opportunity to guess that as an answer?
Okay, Lyle, what do you got for me?
I want to go with the same one. I want to go with the mime because it's what I want the most.
But I'm not stupid, so.
But I'm not. No, I'm gonna go with the mime. I was gonna go with the burrito, but I was like, it's Germany, and I think maybe mime's still they're still valid, I guess.
Burritos haven't found their way
Wiener
over there
Schnitzel.
yet.
You would have been like Wiener Schnitzel.
Why didn't you put a Wiener Schnitzel in there? You should have. That'd have been great.
You're absolutely right, Wayne.
But
Yeah,
I would
roll
at
that
least
well.
try a German burrito. But
Totally.
something tells me that Christopher F. Hart is happy about how this round went for the roster after the whole space quiz. But we shall see. I've got my buzzer ready to go here.
Couldn't see
Okay.
in Das Wiener. Is that your wiener?
Deep fried.
I think. I don't know. Let me ask the audience. Was that funny? Yes.
Wow.
Congratulations.
We got toys now. Okay,
that's
where are
cool.
we at? Lay it
All
on
right,
us.
question one. Let's see how you guys did. Recently, in a random Facebook group I'm a part of, I saw a post about a very strange sex product, a little dildo that you could use that was shaped as a bone. I'm going to go ahead and send you guys the box art here.
Oh shit!
So did you order it?
I did. Thanks for your address, by the way. It'll arrive in about 10 days.
Boy.
Oh, nice.
Oh, dear.
It was indeed the bun dildo, probably, arguably, one of the more attractive serial killers.
Oh, for sure. Definitely, in terms of serial killers, definitely attracted the most hot women, probably, right?
Sure.
That was kind of his thing, was he was the charming knight. Well, not knight in shining armor, but he was very charming. Yeah.
The girls knew they'd get ate out.
Oh, no.
Well, he wasn't a cannibal.
That would have been good one for Dahmer.
Just an animal.
And he preferred boys. I don't think Dahmer ever killed a woman. I could be wrong about that, but he
Probably
only
not.
killed mostly homosexual teenage boys, or at least teenage boys. They might not have all been gay.
But
That's what he
joke.
tried to lure.
Would have been a dead bang for a joke, though. Let me tell you.
Sure,
Dead bang.
sure would.
Oh well. Next time.
Good bang indeed. Okay, nobody got that right. Big whiff.
Yeah.
Question 2. A Swedish scientist of note made some waves recently when he appeared on a TV show about the future of food and advocated that humans are going to have to start eating other fucking humans if we want to get through the tough times ahead.
Wow. How did that
Mark
play?
and Ronster got that correct. Not well. People were very disturbed by it. I have a paragraph here I was going to read. He cited, declining food sources, The scientists acknowledge the conservative taboos that exist from ancient times against consuming human flesh and sees that as the main impediment to the spread.
If we all just got our shit together and actually cared about other people,
yeah,
we wouldn't have to fucking be
wouldn't have to eat them.
thinking about these kinds of things.
No, but that's not happening. Clearly, I don't know.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about
the delicious way out.
If you eat people,
listening.
Well, isn't it like true, like in cannibalism, like some I don't know, islands out in the middle of nowhere, they did the whole cannibalism, and like if you eat part of a brain, then it like fucks you up forever.
Yeah, if you eat brains, if you eat the brains of the same species that you are, there's like prions and stuff in there, and they will eventually fuck you up.
That's how we got mad cow disease, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, mad cow disease. Yep, because cows they were feeding other cows, and when the cows would eat part of the other cow's brains, they would the prions would drive them crazy. Have you guys seen the Book of Eli?
Mm-mm.
From the Bible.
They do a pretty good job of describing this sort of thing in the Book of Eli, where it's like he can tell who's a cannibal because they're like all shaky and stuff because they've been eating other people and like they've been eating the brains and shit, and it like affects their nervous system. And so they're all like,
idea about this.
Yeah, it's a real thing. It's fucked up.
So for all you people driving prions out there thinking that you're saving the earth, well, think again. It's running on brains.
Yeah, you need to trap those cow farts, properly.
That's right.
Okay.
Fucking crazy. There are programs that they've been working on with to try to collect the cow farts into like bubble bags. But they haven't had much success with it, as far as I can tell.
I wanted to wait until we went over the answers, but they've actually discovered that it's actually not like methane released by cows and other livestock is actually kind of
big a deal.
Pretty minimal, and it's mostly landfills that is the largest source of the methane.
Really?
Yep, it's landfills. It's like food and other crap. It's just rotting down there and like creating all this gas. It's leaking.
Because that shit isn't natural. A cow fart is natural. Even if we're feeding it unnatural food, it's still farting. It's like a natural bodily function. So how could that fuck up?
I mean, think of how many cows there are, and think of how many people there are also emitting the same kind of gases, right? Come on, it's like...
Oh, man, if you want a real eye-opener, take a trip to your local dump and your local landfill on any given weekend and just take a peek at what is out there. And that's just what you're seeing. That's what hasn't been buried yet. And that's just in your one town, or maybe one of many in your town. It's a humbling, gross awakening that I recommend. Really makes you think about your garbage.
It's so weird at 2020 in the recycling genre, or like a dump genre sense, that like they don't have facilities that are able to recycle things to a process. Like if you have steel, throw it in the fucking steel pile, you know what I mean, and melt it down.
Well, here's the thing: is that it's because it's not profitable, and basically most problems that you can come down to, like the root cause of it is because someone can't make money off of it right now, and that's why we have all these fucking issues with a lot of this shit, is because there's no way to make, and that's how it is. So if you can't make money off it, no one's going to do it, because
also the recycling thing is the perfect example of a two-way street where not enough people are really living up to their end of the responsibility. And I'm one of them. I don't recycle as much as I should. I recycle some.
God damn you, Ron.
But yeah, I'm a fairly responsible person, and I'm shitting all over Mother Earth. So, I play crapshoots all over Mother Earth from time to time. But there are places and there are programs and there is the capability. But John Mark's right. Yeah, for one reason or another, they're not the programs that they could or should be. Anywho.
Okay, question 3 on our Florida Daily Double question here. Authorities were called out to Lakeland Linder International Airport after they received a delivery mistakenly. It wasn't supposed to go to them, but they processed it into shipping and everything. And they had to close the airport down when they discovered what it was. It was a giant French air-to-air missile. And when I say giant, you guys, I got a picture of them loading it away.
Oh, no one got that, right?
Yeah, there's another big miss there.
Mm. Okay.
That's
Good
pretty
Lord.
It's pretty big. Fuck off. Giant.
Chris, John, or Lyle, I guess. Let me get there eventually. He's like, yeah, I've seen bigger between my legs.
Yeah, because zip.
And I was really hoping it was the corpses, because then I could do like this really sweet Return of the Living Dead quote. But god damn it!
Yeah.
Way to fuck
Would've
that
been
up
good.
for him, Chris.
Sorry. Big sorry, motherfucker.
What's the story? How did it
nobody
get
got-
there?
There. I don't have any
Wrong
other
stamp.
details on it. It just fucking happened.
Jesus.
Yeah.
We are a
just
very,
fucking-
very fragile society.
And question 4. Thanks again, Ben, for sending this in to Christopher.Bazaar@gmail.com. Sunbathers in a busy Berlin park were treated to an interesting scene earlier this month when they watched a large naked man chasing after. Oh, let me just let the picture tell the story.
Oh, dear.
2 pictures for you.
I so want to see a mime running.
Oh.
Oh, my good God. It is indeed the boar.
Yes.
Running away with somebody's laptop. And John Mark got that right again.
That's why.
Looks like Alex Jones, doesn't it?
Get back here with my documents.
Don't turn my laptop gay.
That's the proof.
Not like frogs.
This is a left agenda right here. That's a liberal pig.
This is the
Well-
future liberals want.
Congratulations, John Mark, on your double win today.
Yeah. Jeez. It's
Nice.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's uncanny.
Thank you. Hey,
Oh,
Lyle,
wait.
can I get some applause, please?
Give me a second.
Oh, yeah. Give him a little bit of applause there.
Hey.
Oh, wow. Congratulations, John Mark. It's perfect. It's a fucking commercial.
Perfect.
Commercial.
Ruined the
Perfect.
Congratulations. Are you hungry for Taco Bell?
Oh, no. No.
All right.
What the fuck is going on? I didn't order this.
None of this has worked.
20-second video.
Oh,
I swear
they're
it's
getting
a
worse.
Shutterstock.
Fucking
That's not even doing the
YouTube.
right one. Oh, here we go. Here. John Mark, thank you. Thank you very much. Well deserved.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes.
Well deserved.
Thank you. I'm bowing. Yes. Thank you.
Yes,
Mhm,
yes.
mhm.
Would you like to tell us speech?
Broken up
On-
by Skype.
Encore. All right. Good.
Yeah, encore, John Mark. Do it again.
Excellent.
All right.
No more.
Well, fun as per usual. I was like, it took 10 minutes to load. I'm playing the whole goddamn thing.
No, that's 30 minutes.
Who needs 30 minutes of
5 more
applause?
stories too. I'm going to read them on top.
And steady go. All right. Well, that was fun stuff. You guys need to read up on your space, and I need to read up on my everything, apparently.
90s music. Rocking on. It's always the time.
Rock and roll. Alanis Morissette. That's how we started. Interesting show tonight, I think. Tune in next week. We'll be talking about 9/11. If you do want to contribute to Christopher F. Hart's news quiz, weird trivia, that is, you can do so by sending an email to christopher.bazaar@gmail.com. All other emails can come to radarstationart@gmail.com. Show suggestions, topics, voicemails. People are starting. I got a couple of voicemails, including Ben, who sent you that story. Sent a
John
little voicemail
Mark,
teasing about a story that he might want to come on the podcast and talk about. Some interesting stuff in there. Yeah, go ahead, Lal.
Sir Winner, did you get a bazaar.com or Gmail?
Did you ever figure out that how to sign up for a Gmail account? Well, it's tricky. It is a tricky thing.
jon.pits@gmail. You can use that one. It's fine.
Yeah. Mine's just Lyle.bazaar@gmail.com.
Oh, good stuff. John Mark is winning every fucking round of everything, but hasn't managed to figure out how to set up a free Gmail account.
Well, I
them all.
already have like 3 fucking Gmails, but I can't figure out how to add another one without it like asking all these weird questions. I don't know what the fuck.
Oh, you have 3
Anyways.
Gmails.
You know, because I have the original one that I did, and then I have one for like when I'm sending resumes and stuff, like my professional one, like John.Mark, right? It's like, and then I have another one that I set up for a website that I created back in the day when I was in design school. And then I had a couple other ones for some failed business ventures that like never took off, and it was like, fuck it. So
the internet is littered with John Mark's bastard children that never got off the ground. But,
I mean, they're all hooked. They're all connected to the same account. It's all on the same account, but it's just like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's fair. All right. Well, tune in next week, 9/11. Happy week. Bye.
Bye.
Ding, ding, ding.
Happy week.
Ding, ding, ding. Ding.
All right. Take us out, Lau, with your applause. And we will see you all next week. Kind of sounds like a rainstorm on this end.
Raining over there?
Raining cats and dogs. All right. We'll see y'all.
Bye.
My spell check was typing penis.